Hello and welcome to the Windsor High School edition of Chopped. I'm your host Cam Smith, and let's meet our amazing judges. To my right, we have Officer Smith, Mr. Thompson, and Mr. Beats. Now let's go over and meet our contestants. Team 1, we have Brady and Brady. Team 2, we have Weston and Bannock. Team 3, we have Gigi and Naya. And Team 4, we have Aiden and Tristan. Contestants, today you will be participating in the appetizer round. You'll have 30 minutes to present a dish to our judges. You will be judged on presentation, creativity, and taste. You will be assigned 4 secret ingredients, but you can use anything else in the kitchen. You must use the 4 ingredients in your dish. Contestants, you may go to your stations and open up your basket. Contestants, your first secret ingredient is ricotta cheese. Your second ingredient is chicken. Your third ingredient are tomatoes, and your last ingredient are onions. Contestants, time starts now. Start cooking.
All right, so imagine we're the contestants. You've got this basket. What do you go with? What's your go-to meal here?
I would go with the bruschetta bread, toasted, make a sauce out of the tomatoes and onions, with chicken as being the finisher on top of it for an appetizer.
Okay.
Yeah, bruschetta is definitely a good way to go. I like the bruschetta because you can also incorporate other flavors into that as well too.
Also, too, these ingredients kind of lend more towards a main course.
Yes.
So how are they going to stay within the confines of an actual appetizer for this round? If it's me, and I can't take full credit for this, I did talk with their teacher, Ms. Smith, prior to this competition. I'm almost going a kebab route at this point. You know, incorporate more meats in there, more vegetables at that point, or again, a little bit more complexity, and then it feels like an appetizer.
Yeah.
Because if you just give an Italian dish, which this lends itself to, I think you'll miss the mark on that creativity.
You could also go with a salad, with a smaller portion, and hopefully not much pasta, because that is not an appetizer.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they're going to use to really transform this dish.
And I think another unique part of this competition, usually with these sorts of cooking competitions, it's an individual. They work by themselves and that sort of thing, but you've got teams in this competition, so communication is key.
Yep.
How do you delegate the work? How do you divide the labor? Because 30 minutes, they're competing against each other, but their ultimate competition is the clock. And so that communication, does that expedite things and make it easier, or does it slow things down and make it more difficult? We'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that ricotta cheese, because I guarantee you half of the guys here haven't even seen ricotta cheese in their life. So I'm wondering if they're just going to throw it in as an afterthought, or they're really going to try to incorporate it. I'm interested to see if we're also going to see like a tomato type sauce with these tomatoes. I really don't know what some of these people are going to do with the tomatoes.
Yeah, you hope that they don't just dice them and throw them on. Again,
So Brady, what's our thought process here?
We're just waiting for our oil to heat up, and then I'm going to start breading and frying our chicken, and then we're going to kind of give it we're going to do chicken tenders and kind of a tomato, onion, ricotta salad on the side. A little appetizer,
Bannock, what's our thought process with this dish?
No, we're just going through right now, getting some seasoning going. My chef Brum right here is cutting up some vegetables. We're getting going. We're gonna start cooking chicken soon, and then we're making little kebabs. I think so. The route we're going. So
we're making a bruschetta with chicken and some sauce with tomato and onion, and probably some ricotta on top. We're thinking of putting butter with some garlic to give it some taste. Hope that's work.
So what are you doing with the tomatoes and onions?
We're going to integrate them into the fondue sauce, I think, and then the chicken we're going to grill up, and then we're going to mix up the ricotta with our melted cheese to, make that fondue.
Brady and Brady's group, they're just making chicken tenders with a salad, kind of.
Oh.
I don't know really how they're gonna bring that all together. We have a kebab group over there.
Hey, there you go.
There we go.
I must have been listening.
I asked them what they were going to try to do with that ricotta cheese, and they were like they were going to try to make a sauce to drizzle it on top. So I'm really interested to see if they really can incorporate that. And then Naya and Gigi's group, they're going to the bruschetta route. So they're doing something interesting. And here, they're going a completely different route that I didn't even think of, fondue. So they're trying to bring together a lot of cheeses, seasonings, and going to use that chicken to dip it in a really bring it all together.
I'm surprised
Okay.
that students that young even know what fondue is.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be interesting to see how they incorporate the ricotta into a fondue since it's a much more water-based cheese. It's not a firm cheese, so it's not a true melting cheese.
Right.
So to get that to mix properly is going to be interesting.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't want it to be chunky, but then also too, you're going to have to highlight more cheeses, but you don't want to overpower to where
Right.
you can't even
You
tell
can't
the
tell
ricotta's in
the
it.
ricotta's in there.
So
Yep.
especially he's going to put it in a pan here. It really is not going to break down into a smooth mix
No.
like a true melt.
All these groups seem very confident in what they're creating, so.
Loving the
we'll see how it turns
transformation
out.
that's happening a little bit more this time
And then
around.
with our fondue
Yes,
group, we're going to
yes.
have to make sure, especially with tomatoes, when you cook them down, they become very soft and mushy.
Yep.
So you still want to have some character and bite to
Yep.
them.
Contestants, you have 15 minutes remaining. 15 minutes.
So halfway through, we got our first bowl down.
I'm wondering what they're going to put in their salad, or if it's going to be just kind of a salt and pepper base.
I don't know.
Because they do want to have something with that to kind of make it flavor that lettuce
Yep.
and tomato.
I think they're relying most of their flavor on their chicken seasoning. Because in that breading, he mentioned to me that they added many spices like paprika, cayenne. They try to make it a little kick.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, another glove's off.
Okay,
What are we going to here? Oh, he's going to another cut.
gonna cut it open, pop it back in that fryer.
Oh, he's looking for doneness.
Well, I think it looks like they had plenty of chicken to really test it. If they really need to see, if they really don't know the temperature that it needs to be, it's
Yep.
pretty good if you have a tester chicken.
Well, I wonder if they didn't put too much too soon, like you had said. I wonder if they brought that oil temperature down and that's what's kind of slowing down their cooking a little bit. But we do have some plates evident now on kitchen one.
And something with a salad, which they did, that they maybe not know, is when you put heat into a salad like they did with their onions, it's going to wilt that lettuce.
Yes, it will. Yes.
So now they're mixing it, so hopefully they understand that that's going to change the concept of the salad there a
Yep.
little bit.
Excellent point. We got some plates going out there on kitchen 3.
Yeah.
Same's going to be too when you put warm chicken. You know,
Sure.
when you order like a chicken salad, so
Right.
they always put that warm chicken on there. We don't want that to wilt your salad either.
We might be seeing some plating over here already from
Yeah.
team 3.
Yep.
Is that our bruschetta?
It's hard to see in those back corners, really see their process and see what they're doing.
It'd be nice to have like a cam over there so we can almost see in a monitor.
Yeah.
But yeah, kitchen 2, not a whole lot of movement going on. They seem like they're in a decent rhythm. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing at this point. Definitely getting some collaboration over there in kitchen 3.
Yep.
Man, we are getting some plating in kitchen 3. Plating early. And then,
Kitchen 4 looks
Wondering
like
if
they're
that's
struggling
too
a little
early.
bit.
yeah, kitchen 4, if they're going to do fondue.
Yeah, because they're still working on cooking those, whatever is that chicken or vegetable down.
Yeah.
And haven't seen much of a true, cheese sauce start, which takes time as a fondue.
Contestants,
My new
you have
favorite thing,
5
too, is
minutes.
also the-
5 minutes. If you haven't started plating, start thinking about it.
So they plated a lot here on Station 1, but the ricotta is still nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, don't forget any ingredients, chefs. Make sure all ingredients are evident on the dish.
Oh, he's bringing out some whole milk. Oh boy.
Okay, so now we got some milk.
And some ranch seasoning. So maybe making a little ranch style
a little ranch
sauce.
dip.
Yeah.
Okay, I do appreciate that. So that,
Yeah.
and if you're worried about the chicken being a little under seasoned with the breading,
Right.
you got a sauce. That's a good way to complement it or hide it.
Right. See if they can get it to blend over here.
Yeah. How do these dishes come together?
Yeah. Okay, we're trying.
Okay. Was that the ricotta that they put in
The
there?
ricotta has
wasn't
a
it?
cream and some
Ricotta.
ranch.
Okay.
Some ranch seasoning.
All right.
So I
Interesting.
think they're trying to add a sauce on top
Yeah.
of their
They'd be-
chicken.
If they were smart here, they'd add a little bit of lime or lemon juice to it to help with that acidity breakdown, which will give it a better flavor.
Good. They're going to taste it before. That's a pretty liquidy sauce, though.
Yeah. I think they might. Not very good.
And I think these groups are really taking to mind that their portion sizes. Like, that looks like a good appetizer portion size to me. And I'm looking back at group 3 too. It looks like a pretty darn good portion size.
They're in that moment. They're deciding, do they include it or do they not?
Yeah.
Or do you have enough time to get back to that ricotta and try and retransform it with something else? They do have ricotta left. They don't have to be settled with that if they're not happy with it.
Right.
I'm really interested, the kebabs on Kitchen 2, it looks like we're skewering now,
Yeah.
but are those other components, are they cooked?
Right.
I know that they cook their chicken separately, but I didn't see really any of the cooking of any of the vegetables or what other vegetables are incorporated.
After they're
Contestants, 1 minute remaining, 1 minute. Finish up plating. Let's go, let's go.
Salad.
Yeah, I didn't see it though, so they'll have to really explain how that is because it's very a distinct taste.
Fighting over the lemon.
Little bit of a disagreement over there
Yep.
in Kitchen 1.
A little trouble in paradise over there between Brady Square.
They're gonna need to figure it out quick.
They do. Yep. How much time do we have left?
Just under 30 seconds.
Okay.
Still
Chefs,
skewering.
you need to get your food on the plate. It's time now to plate. We definitely got some sort of cheese mixture out of 4.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, time's up. Hands off, hands off.
Good work, chefs. Good work.
I think Kitchen 3
Contestants, you may come over and line up.
So I'm excited to see what they've got.
Yeah.
All right, contestants. We're going to start with Team 1, Brady and Brady. Please bring up your dish.
All right, judges. What we made for you today is a fried chicken with a little bit of Montreal cayenne pepper, a little salt, pepper seasoning with the chicken, and the salad is lettuce, onion, ricotta. We kind of use the ricotta almost as a ranch binder type deal. We tried to make a little sauce at the end, but Brady 2 over here kept trying to force something on the plate that shouldn't have been. So, that's about all we got on the plate.
Well, and chefs, I commend you for not making that late addition on the plate because we could definitely tell from over here at the judges' table that you guys
Yeah,
were
it was
going back
all
and
him.
forth on what to do.
All him.
Helping me with it.
No, all him.
See, and our fear was that the ricotta wasn't incorporated in the dish, but I think you guys did a good job of using it
Oh.
within the salad.
And we did saute the ricotta and onions, and then we left the tomatoes and lettuce out because we didn't really want to make those tomatoes too mushy. Still wanted kind of almost a little crunch. A little texture, yeah.
My favorite thing on the dish actually is the salad.
The salad's great.
Great flavor. Chicken, see that it has great seasoning, but it's a little bit bland with the salt. I would add a little bit of salt so that it kind of matches what you've done in the
Yep.
salad.
Yep.
And this is where I would also trust your instinct that you guys knew you needed a little something more. I think you had the right idea of going with some sort of sauce. Like that idea of it, this chicken does need a little sauce with it. But then, again, that's kind of the both edges of the blade there. Do you include it if you're not happy with it, or do you just keep it off and run the risk of not having enough flavor?
The dressing.
The ranch that he made kind of tasted like sand.
Oh,
Yeah, it was kind of had a texture of sand in it, so I didn't want you guys to eat something from the beach. I looked
good
out for
call.
you guys. Yeah.
So you did do a nice job on preparing the chicken. It's well cooked into the middle. Still has its juice in it, but cooked to good stuff. And your crust is crispy, so you've done a nice job on that as well.
Couldn't find any breadcrumbs, of course. That was my first option, but I went with flour.
you did a good job with the flour.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, chefs.
Team 2, Weston Bannock, please bring up your dishes. All right, please tell us what you made.
So in front of you, you have a kebab with sautéed green bell pepper, tomatoes, chicken, and a ricotta paprika sauce.
And chefs, what seasoning did you use on the chicken itself?
So we used cumin, paprika, salt, and pepper.
That's what I was tasting, was the cumin on that one.
A little bit of that chili taste. Too.
Yeah.
And then with the tomato, was there any thought of going a little smaller on the piece, or just decide with the slice?
Yeah, that was kind of more of a time-strained
Okay.
decision there. I really wish we could have just gone a little bit smaller and sautéed the tomatoes maybe, but due to time we
And when you say kebab, right? When we think of a kebab over a hot, cooked grill, you're cooking through the vegetables. The chicken was well done because you sauteed it, but the vegetables are still very al dente versus when you're in a kebab sense. You should bite through them. They should be a pretty smooth bite. These are pretty crisp, and then you have the raw tomato. So it doesn't kind of work together in that sense, but I do like the sauce and I do like the chicken.
Thank you.
The chicken's definitely well seasoned. I like the flavors that you added. There's not too much salt, and then again, that cumin definitely really comes out. It's really good.
Thank you.
Team 3, please bring up your dishes. All right, please tell us what you guys made.
Okay, so we made a bruschetta. So it's on bread with a little bit of butter and garlic, and then the ricotta spread over the bread. And then we did the onion and the tomato in a little bit of balsamic vinegar. And then we cooked the chicken with salt, pepper, and a little bit of honey. And then topped it with a little green onion and honey and balsamic vinegar. And then the reason that we plated this was because
We put it like this because you can see the white, red, and green color. They are the color of Italy. And the little drop that we put, it's honey, and it represents like the sun that always shines in Italy on the coast.
Okay.
And this is actually a plate that, like, I taste it similar in the south of Italy, so we wanted to represent that.
Well, grazie. Just right off the get-go, chefs, the flavors play so well together.
They
This
do.
is fantastic.
Yes.
The taste so good, and I think the difference is that you shared the story behind your food. I can feel that just within your food and the plate here. It definitely feels like it was made with, maybe some love, maybe some missing of home, and it definitely plays on the dish. So wonderful job.
Thank you.
The bread's definitely still got a good crunch to it, which I do appreciate because sometimes when you add the tomato and the other ingredients, we worry again about that sogginess, but it has a good crunch and also a really good flavor to it as well.
I thought adding the honey to just give a little bit of sweetness to the raw onion into the tomato just hits it over the top. Well done.
And I really do appreciate that balsamic because that's always a really good additive to
Yes,
have on there as
definitely.
well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, chefs.
All right, thank you, Team 3. Team 4, please bring up your dishes. All right, Team 4, tell us what you guys made.
We made a fondue. We seasoned it with paprika, garlic powder, salt and pepper. We have the onions and the tomatoes inside of the fondue. The chicken is again seasoned with the paprika and the garlic powder. And then we have the bread on the side to dip in. And the ricotta is inside of the fondue.
Well, luckily, while there is good bite in the chicken, it's not too much. So we appreciate for that. I think as fondues go, it's got good taste. That consistency is a little chunky. I think you could have gone a little smaller on the onions, especially because when I find an onion, it's like the Titanic finding an iceberg. Like it's hitting me right in the face, which is fine. It again, the flavors all play well. But if it's going to be a fondue, maybe trying to get it a little bit smaller.
We were planning to blend it, but our blender's broken, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So the attempt would have been you were in the right direction.
Yeah, we were trying, but didn't work.
well, your flavors are good. All of the basket ingredients are present, which is awesome. I think you did a good job with the chicken. And really, it's just a consistency thing with the fondue. Is really my only drawback.
Because we really think of a fondue as very melty and smooth. So adding that ricotta, which some of you probably don't know, ricotta doesn't break down into a melt, kind of like our normal cheese, like a mozzarella, those kind of things. So you can feel that grit. Not saying that the taste is wonderful. When it comes to it, some people might be like, oh, what is that? If that makes sense. But well done.
Yep. One thing too about the chicken, it's cooked well. I like the little bit of the heat that's in there. But again, thinking back to the consistency. So again, you've got some little pieces on the plate, but then some bigger pieces. So when you chop up your chicken, just keep it pretty consistent for size.
All right, contestants, thank you. Please give our judges time to review their answers, and thank you. Straight away, what are we thinking here?
I know one dish that's definitely safe.
And I know that dish got a perfect score.
Yes.
I gave that a perfect
Yep.
15 as well,
Same here.
and that would be Gigi and Aya's dish. Yeah.
The story behind it, the way they were creative to it, how they plated it, and then the taste was just fantastic.
Very impressive out of teenagers to produce a dish like that. kitchen 2, even though they followed my suggestion of going with the kebab. You know, the onion just was a little sautéed. The tomato was just such an afterthought to where it just felt like, let's just put it on the skewer real quick. And it messed with the cohesion of the rest of the dish, because if they would have had time to do that, they could have hit it on the skillet, get a nice sear marks on that kebab, and it didn't happen.
Well, and then within their sauce, I thought they were pretty creative in making a sauce to go on it.
I love that.
They could have done that and added the tomato to that to make it a true sauce, and just have it the vegetables, the more sturdy vegetables and chicken as their kebab themselves versus putting that tomato.
Yeah, and I don't quite recall too where the Brady and Brady team had their onion. Was that again in the
salad?
In the salad.
Yeah. So again, there were some differences in some of the teams too in terms of how much or how little the onion was there.
And I honestly think too, while maybe they got dinged on creativity because they did give us chicken tenders, the taste wise was just one miss. Again, if they would have given us a sauce for that chicken, and again, even if it was some of the notes, and frankly, if I could have had the sauce from Kitchen 2 on the chicken from Kitchen 1, that's
up there.
And that's the only thing that would have even approached the food that we got from Kitchen 3.
Yep.
Which one are we going to first? Are we going to the fondue and the way that they prepared the chicken, or are we going to the kebabs and how they prepared their dish? And I'm going back to the fondue dish.
Yeah.
I am too.
Agreed.
I preferred the chicken on that one as well too.
I like the spice that worked well with the fondue in itself, making that profile really nice. So that would be the one that would stay.
Yep.
Judges, are we ready to make our final decision?
Yes.
I think we are.
All right. All right, contestants, thank you all for creating a dish. Everyone was good in their own way, but one has to go. The team being eliminated today is Team 2, Bannock and Wes. You have been chopped.
Hey, I just want to give you guys kudos for giving that an opportunity, because that was something we had talked about as a judge. Hey, maybe a kebab would be the choice. Where I think you missed a little bit is the chicken was wonderful, but the tomato just didn't function.
And chefs, I don't think you beat yourselves today. I think the clock got the better of you, honestly.
Congratulations to the 3 teams moving on. We'll see you next time. Thank you all for tuning in to Windsor High School's edition of Chopped. We will see you next month for our entree round. Thank you.